Well, this is not the video that I anticipated making, but I did leave my full-time job to become a business owner. Time to talk about it. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. So, as I mentioned, I have officially left my full-time job in order to become a small business owner. And it sounds insane as I say those words, but I am fully trusting that this is going to be the right decision for me. And some of the events that took place when I left my job made me feel a lot better about the decision that I actually made. So just about 2 years ago when I started Turo, it was really just a side business. It really wasn't anything for me to pursue full time. However, as I started getting more vehicles, it started consuming more of my time. Even though it was consuming a lot of my time, I still was able to work my job while maintaining that side business and just continuing to bring in a stream of income. Then 2022 came and my son was born and things changed big time. I believed that I was going to be able to juggle that job while having a baby, while having a side business, and while that sounds like I could be super dad, it in reality was not what I could handle. My work started to suffer. I was focusing on the business. At the end of the day, I still had renters that needed to pick up cars, and I was trying as hard as I could to be supportive at home for our son. Now, I will say my full-time job was very gracious with me and worked with me a lot, and they tolerated a lot while I was learning and while I was going through all of these experiences. They could have handled the situation very differently in those moments, but they didn't. They handled it very well. They worked with me, they supported me, and I couldn't thank them enough in that time. After returning from parental care leave, I helped out with supporting a few teams. I was in a managerial role in that job, and so I was supporting a team for a few weeks here and there. And then the time came for me to make a decision, and we were getting close to the end of 2022. By the time 2023 rolled around, I finally made the decision that I was just going to go down to part-time. There really wasn't any way for me to be able to support a team, for me to be present for them when they needed me. And so it was important for someone to be able to step in my shoes and be able to support the team the way I would want to support them if I had the time. So I took the vulnerable step of stepping down, and I moved into an hourly role. That was bittersweet for me because at the same time that I had done that, I worked very hard to get into leadership when I first started with this company 5 years ago. And I worked very, very hard. I showed my work ethic. I had won many awards, not that I'm trying to brag, but I worked very hard to get to where I was. So when I took a step down, that was a personal sacrifice on my end. And at the same time, I knew that I wanted this business to grow. And so that at the time was what I felt was the right decision. Immediately upon moving into the hourly role, I was constantly being pestered by my manager and asked why I'm taking PTO. And I knew right off the bat it wasn't a good fit. Now, I'll give you a little bit of a sidebar experience. There was another time when I had dealt with a manager who constantly called me, constantly expected that I was available, and it was just unrealistic. And it made for a very toxic work environment. And I was really getting those vibes towards the latter part of my tenure with this company. The support that I had felt during my time when I was transitioning out was gone. I really didn't feel that anymore. There were no personal questions being asked. It was more of just, here's what I expect of you when you're at work. Now, it's no fault of that manager. That's just that manager's working style. But I know in a company that believes in work-life balance, that was very off-putting for me. And I felt like that was my time to decide, do I really want to stay in this job, or do I want to go ahead and walk away from it? That was very hard. This job, I considered it to be like my big boy job. I had never had one like this before. It was in the finance industry, so I worked hard to get my securities licenses, and I felt like I was throwing that time away. But I had to trust my instinct. And my instinct was telling me that it was time for this business to grow. It was time for me to put that chapter of my life away. And it was time for me to start pursuing my business full time. I messaged my manager and I put in my 2 weeks notice, and I was met with a email within 24 hours of that original email that basically said, thanks for your notice. We've paid you for 2 weeks. Turn in your equipment. And I lost all of my access to everything within 24 hours. I wasn't able to send messages to anyone. I wasn't able to say goodbye to anyone. I wasn't even able to say goodbye to my boss, who I really didn't care if I did or I didn't. That just proved for me that I really don't want to be working for anyone anymore. I don't want to have to be telling somebody what I'm doing. I don't want to have to be impressing anyone. The only people that I should be impressing are the people that are using my products and the people that are using my services. I didn't even get a chance to share my personal story with that manager, and I don't know if that manager even wanted to know about it, because if they did, there would have been a meeting with me asking me what's going on with your family, what's going on with your job. But it was a lot of open lines of questioning of like, what am I doing with my time off and things like that. Now, this isn't an attack on the company. I will tell you that this company took very good care of me over the course of my 5 years with them. But that last experience leading up to my departure really left things on a sour note and really solidified for me that I am where I need to be. I am running my business. I am going to be focusing on that. And this business is going to be even more profitable than it has ever been. There were some important things that I learned from that job that definitely shaped the person that I am today. Number one is everyone has a story. And so whenever you listen to someone, whenever you listen to them speak, be an active listener. Listen to what they have on their mind and listen to what is going on in their life. So this way you are able to not just appeal to someone on a professional level, but you are also able to appeal to them and be able to understand what they're going through in their life and be empathetic to that situation. So many times we act on emotion and we tend to internalize what a person says to us. And this is definitely an eye-opening experience for me, in that whenever somebody snaps at me, or whenever somebody's rude to me, or whenever somebody does something that is not desirable, there's a person behind that action, and understanding what that person is going through helps you become a better person in terms of being able to handle those situations. Number two is everybody deals with things differently. When I say that, I mean one person having a child is going to handle this differently than another person having a child. Like, you can't treat everybody the same in terms of the way they deal with certain situations. So you can't look at somebody and go, well, I went through that before, so why are you struggling through it? So many times we categorize what a person is going through and we say, okay, well, I've been through that too, so I don't know why you're stressing. And that is the absolute opposite of what you want to do. You want to be able to empathize, as I've already said, and just be able to relate and listen to them and validate their feelings. Number three, and I feel like one of the most important from a professional standpoint, is everybody is coached differently. There are going to be people who are very proficient at what they do and do really, really well and don't need a ton of support. And those people are talked to differently than somebody who is brand new, that is very eager to learn, but does not know everything. So I definitely learned a lot from a coaching standpoint, and it's not necessarily something that I'm going to be carrying with me today when it comes to my work, but it's something that I can learn when it comes to coaching my children, or coaching somebody that is looking for a mentor, or whatever the case may be, and being able to have those conversations and understanding where that person is, because not everybody is coached the same. I am very sad to walk away from this job to focus on this one, because they did do so much for me. I learned so much from this job. I made so many great friendships, networked with so many people, but at the same time, I had to know when it was time for me to throw in that towel and for me to start focusing on what is important to me. And the business is important to me, my children are important to me, and I feel like by being able to focus on this business full time, I'm able to manipulate my own schedule, I'm able to decide what I do and don't want to do, and I'm able to be present for my family and not feel like I have to report to somebody and explain to them why I'm taking time off or where I am in a given point of time. As for what's next for this business, well, I'm ready to manage your car. So if you have a car that you don't want anymore, that you want to bring in a passive stream of income, please send us an email. I'll leave my information down below for you to reach out and I will cover everything with you as far as how you can make passive income with your vehicle and be able to list it here in Jacksonville. This is a thriving market with a lot of travelers, so there is definitely opportunity for you to be able to make money by listing your vehicle on Turo. So allow us to do that managing for you, allow us to send you a paycheck, and it sounds like it's too good to be true. It sounds like a sales pitch, but trust me when I tell you that if you are in this situation and you have a vehicle and you are looking to figure out what to do in order to offload it, then consider us. We would be more than willing to help in any way that we can. And really, this is a partnership. This is not just our opportunity to make more money. This is our opportunity to show you that you can make money by doing this. Another thing that we have been considering doing is being able to coach new hosts that are looking to start in their market. So if that's something that interests you, leave a comment down below and let us know what you think, because if there is enough interest, we would be happy to create some sort of a masterclass or some sort of a one-on-one session where we can just sit down with you and talk with you about becoming a host on Turo and being able to list your vehicle. Now, some of you are looking at this and you're very skeptical, or you think there's no way that you're gonna make money by listing a car on Turo. I'm here to tell you, you are able to make money by listing a car on Turo. You just have to be able to make the right financial decisions, so this way you are in the best position to make that money. And I want to thank every single one of you for watching this video, and I hope you learned something from this, that no corporate job will ever give you the redemption of owning your own business. Owning your own business will create sacrifices, will have trials, will have tribulations, but at the end of the day, you are running your business and you are creating something that you are able to pass down to your family. And that is really why I am doing what I'm doing at this point. I could have the best job, I could have the best corporate job, I could make lots of money, I could build savings for my children's college, but then what does that leave me at the end? This allows me to have something that I can pass down to my children if they are ready to take it on. Now that is gonna do it for today. Thank you all so much for watching, and thank you for supporting this business. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and consider subscribing if you enjoy this content and you enjoy our business, because I really am excited for what is to come in the months and years ahead. If you are looking for a rental in Jacksonville, please visit AtchooRentals.com. We have everything from small compact cars, and we are building and building and getting more cars added to the fleet and more class vehicles added to the fleet, but we still have that beautiful giant minivan for you to accommodate 7 passengers. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a great day.